Hey everyone, it's Jimmy Lewis Realty here. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a client case study. It's going to be with a client, which he reached out to me, said that he wanted to find a house hack. He wants to live there for 1 year, put 3% down, do a minimal, very low down payment, and essentially live there for 1 year. And then after that, he wants to move out and then treat this property as a long-term rental. He wants to start cash flowing and he wants equity in the deal. I told him, absolutely, I can definitely find you a deal. And we're going to go over that deal today. And again, this is one of my favorite client success stories recently. He absolutely knocked the ball out of the park with this deal. This house is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, single family house. So my client actually got it under contract at $195K. They made an error here. The listing agent, they probably put in the wrong number, but it is $195. And also you can see in one of the counter offers that we wrote, it says $195,500. So again, $195. Also on top of that too, we were able to work out another $2,000 in seller concessions. So actually, this should be actually realistically $193. So with that being said, this is the deal as you can see right here. This property is very near turnkey. Outside looks great. The vinyl siding, you have an AC unit, a little bit of an older AC unit, but also you have a big backyard. Roof is in solid shape. When you go into the property, is very near turnkey. The first floor looks awesome. You have new LVP flooring. The cabinets are in solid shape. Appliances are in still great shape as well too. The light fixtures look great. Paint looks great in the house. Everything was very well taken care of essentially. And again, could use some cosmetic updates. Like for the first floor, nothing is needed. It looks amazing. As you can see, bath. Yeah, it looks awesome. Vanity toilet, the tile, the bathtub, mirror, everything looks solid, honestly. The reason why I really this deal for my client is because there was an unfinished basement, which was partially finished. So we're going to take a closer look at that. And then in the basement, there is a half bathroom. So what my client is planning on doing is he's going to finish up this basement. As you can see right there, there's already insulation, there's already drywall up. It basically just needs some finishing touches. It needs some paint. It needs some baseboards. It needs some trim. That's pretty much all it needs to basically finish up this basement. It just needs some finishing touches, honestly. So because of that, my client is going to turn this basement into a finished bedroom. So he's going to make this into a 4-bedroom. And on top of that too, with that half bathroom that you see in the basement right here, he's actually going to push this back, the wall back right here. He's going to push this back and make this into a full bathroom as well too. So he's actually going to be turning this into a 4-2. So that's his big game plan. And because of that, his entire renovation budget is centered around finishing this basement and making that half into a full bathroom. So again, his goal is to turn this into a 4-2. He's a budget of, I think, $8,000 to $10,000 in terms of renovations. I hooked him up with my GC, who's going to definitely take care of him and give him some very good investor pricing as well too. Again, he's going to get taken care of by GC. But again, he's going to finish up this property, make it a 4-2, and essentially he's going to get it, live there. He's going to rent out the bedrooms and basically be living rent free. And after he moves out, he's going to keep this as a long-term rental and start cash flowing and hitting the 1%. That being said, let's take a look at the location. So here's the location of the property. And again, something I always look for is, does it feel safe here? Is it quiet? Is it clean? Are there homeowners here? Do they take care of their properties? Are they mowing their lawns? Is there good landscaping? Is the curb appeal nice? And in my opinion, when I walk this property, checked off all the boxes. It's in great shape. Everything's awesome. I like the neighborhood feel. I was talking to a few other neighbors. It's in great. In my opinion, I'm a huge fan of the locations, as you can see right here. And then next up, let's look at the rent report. So once he turns this into a 4-2, here's what he can get in rents. He should be able to get easily $2,000 in rents, as you can see right here. And again, if you look at some of the rent comps, 2,300, 2,200. Obviously, there's some that are 1,850, 2,000. But again, if he does a great job renovating it and makes it look absolutely solid, he should be able to, in my opinion, get it rented out for $2,000 a month all day, every day. So again, this one's going to hit the 1% rule. He's going to positive cash flow like crazy once he moves out, of course. And then next up, we're going to look at some ARV comps. So when it comes to pulling ARV comps, I always use the same bedrooms, same bathrooms, very similar square footage. And on top of that too, I always look for stuff that's in the same proximity / neighborhood as well. So what I was able to pull was these two comps right here. You have 302 and 307 pretty much for the ARV comps. And again, these comps look really good. As you can see, I think these comps are a little bit bigger than our property. On top of that, they look a little bit nicer as well. I personally did have the ARV at 300. I had it a little bit less. These comps look amazing. They look in really good shape, and they're in the same pretty much exact neighborhood as well, very close to this property. So again, these are the comps. I don't think we're at this level. I had the ARV at 260 to 270. This is a much closer comp than I had, and this one sold for 255. You can see right here. I think our comp, if we do it the right way, can sell for a little bit more than this property. Because again, this one has a tub surround. Ours has tile, has old paint, it looks like, as well too. So basement isn't finished as well. It's an unfinished basement. So again, I've had our comp at a little bit higher than this property. I had the ARV comp at 260 to 270. So again, he's buying this at, as you can see, he's buying this at 193 pretty much. Again, 195 with a $2,000 seller concession. So the thing is, he's going to be putting in $8,000 to $10,000. So all in, he's going to be around like low 200s. But again, after everything is said and done, and after he's done renovating this property, he's going to easily have $40,000 to $50,000 worth of built-in equity. Again, based on these comps, this is a grand slam of a deal for him. And on top of that, when he's living there, he's going to be living rent-free as well too. So let's take a look at the deal analysis. I'm just going to say 195. Technically, it should be 193 because of the seller credit, but I'm just going to use 195 just for the sake of it. He bought actually with 3% down, but I'm just going to use 20% down because most of my investor clients use conventional financing or traditional financing. Closing fees are going to be typically always 1.5%. That's going to be lender fees, title fees, third-party fees, everything included. You're looking at 1.5% for the buyer side. Again, you're not paying realtor commission. That's for sellers to pay, and sellers are still taking care of that here in Columbus, Ohio. So next up, we're taking a loan, obviously. The loan I just use like the industry average right now for investment properties, so 6.5%, and it's a 30-year fixed loan. And on top of that too, I'm going to use a scenario where the property is going to appreciate roughly 6% year over year. In my opinion, I think that's very conservative. I have Columbus, Ohio appreciating much quicker than that. But again, we're just going to use 6% appreciation year over year, and we're going to use 8% cost to sell. So pretty much that's going to be 6% for all the realtor commissions, and then another 2% for closing fees in this case. So 8% in this situation. And then we're going to sell it in 10 years. So we're going to see how much we're going to make. So with that being said, we're going to use $2,000 a month in rents. And then we're going to also use property taxes. I pulled this from the auditor site directly. So again, that's $250 a month. Insurance for a property of this size and purchase price, you're looking at $90 a month in insurance. It's very cheap here in Columbus, Ohio. And then for reserves, we're going to use 855. That's going to be 8% for PM fees, as you can see right here. We're going to use 5% for repairs and maintenance. So again, that's going to be 855, 8% for PM fees, 5% for repairs, maintenance, and CapEx. Everything's included in that 5%. And then we're going to use 5% for vacancy as well too. The reason why I do not use 10, 10, 10 or 12, 12, 12 or anything like that is because that's being overly conservative. If you're using 12, 12, 12 for everything, like 12% for PM fees, 12% for vacancy, 12% for maintenance, 12% for CapEx, there will never be a deal that will ever work for you. So you want to be conservative, but not overly conservative. Okay. So 855, as you can see right here, 8%, 5%, and 5% right here. And then next up, now that we have all the numbers filled up, cash on cash return, we're looking at nearly 10% cash on cash. After everything is said and done, his net cash flow a year is going to be roughly $4,283 a year. And then his NOI is going to be roughly $16,000 NOI. So that's going to be without his mortgage included or his debt service. And his IRR return, that basically means everything included, including appreciation, is going to be 25%. Cap rate, he's at 8.2%, 8.26% for his cap rate. So again, this is an incredible deal. His monthly NOI is going to be $1,343 a month. But obviously, after you account for the debt service or the mortgage payment in this case, he's going to be net cash flowing as a long-term rental, $356 a month, or a year. That's going to be $4,283 a year. So again, he is crushing it. Honestly, he's absolutely killing it with this deal. So again, he's going to be making $356 a month after PITI, after PM fees, after reserves, after everything. So now let's look at the summary. So if he does decide that he wants to sell after 10 years and he's like, hey, I just want to offload this. If we account for 6% appreciation year over year for the next 10 years, here's what he's going to be making. He's going to be making 283% cash on cash return in 10 years. So that's incredible, honestly. So with that being said, that is the video right there. Just wanted to, again, do a case study on my client who's house hacking and going to be buying this as a long-term rental after he moves out. Just want to show you guys that, again, to find a deal that hits the 1% rule, that has equity and in a great location, deals like this still exist. So if you want help finding a deal like this, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you with that. Also, I would love to answer any questions that you have. And just to recap, my name is Jimmy with Swiss Realty. I help investors find the next buy and hold, BRRRR, flip, or short-term midterm rental. I've done well over 150 real estate transactions. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you need help, or you want to find your next investment property in Columbus, Ohio. I would love to help with that. So just give me a holler. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.